news today. We're going to be looking at a top 10 Walking Dead games. Now, these have to be games based on the Walking Dead series. Can't be a zombie game or anything of the like. And a huge caveat here, I have to have played it so I can rank it. If I haven't played it, I can't rank it. So every game here will be the ones that I've played. I will do top 10. So they will be based on how much I like them and how much the theme comes through. So let's jump right into it. Number 10 is Walking Dead Risk. This is a Risk variant that includes the Walking Dead universe. And what you're going to get here is factions, the saviors, the players, the main characters, and the zombie faction, and you're going to be playing Risk. And this isn't the strongest one. The theme isn't very strong here. Oh, they did a really good job of bringing it in. It's going to be based off of the comics, not the show, but the comics itself. So if you're a fan of Risk and you're wanting something that's a gateway, something to jump off point, then Walking Dead The Risk would accomplish that for you. I'm not requesting or telling anybody they should start here, but, when I had a list of Walking Dead games, and there were quite a few who did not make this list, I would say this is number 10. It's not a bad Risk variant, to be honest. I like this one quite a bit, actually. Walking Dead the card game is a Walking Dead variant off the 6-Nimped universe of games. So basically getting 6-Nimped with some Walking Dead artwork on it. I actually like the 6-Nimped game. I actually think it's a fun little game. And that's why I put it above the Risk. The Risk is more of the Walking Dead, what you think that you're getting into. But I do like this game quite a bit more. So while the theme isn't really there, it's just kind of artwork, I do like the game quite a bit. And this is, if you're looking for a 6-Nimped set and you like The Walking Dead, this is a marriage made in heaven. This is one I would recommend to you to check out just for the game and not so much the theme. Number 8 is Bang the Dice game, in particular the Walking Dead version. This is going to be based off of the comic, and this is going to be just Bang the Dice with Walking Dead artwork on it. I do like the universe of this. I'm a big Old West kind of fan, so I like that version also. But The Walking Dead in my family is very easy to get people to play into it. They like the characters. You kind of know what you're getting into. So the IP-driven of Bang the Dice game is a huge hit. And quite honestly, it's the version of Bang the Dice game that we decided to keep because we do like The Walking Dead. So this was an easy fix. If you don't like The Walking Dead, you're probably not watching this video. But if you're looking for a Bang the Dice game or you want a good party game where you're rolling dice and attacking other people and trying to use deduction to find out who is on which side, we're starting to see these games on this list bring in the theme of The Walking Dead. So my number 8 is Bang the Dice game, The Walking Dead. So there are a couple games with this name, so I'm going to have to describe which one I'm talking about. This is Walking Dead, the board game. And this is based off of the comics. There was an expansion that included the prison. But this is a very simple kind of walk around and just shoot zombies. So you're going to, or walkers in the case of The Walking Dead, right? So you'll be walking around, you'll be making noise, getting resources, and trying to get enough to return back to a location in order for the win the game. And it has all the different characters. There's a ton of characters. The prison expansion adds quite a bit. I would even say if you're a fan of this game to add in the expansion, it's a good set. But be careful because there's a lot of games called the Walking Dead board game. This one's the Walking Dead : the board game. You can see the picture here, but be careful which one you're buying because there are some atrocious ones out there. But this one was a little bit of a fun romp. You're going to see some better games on this list. But when this game was released, I would have made this probably the number 1 Walking Dead game. Up until this point, there hasn't been any games on the list except for The Walking Dead, the card game, that is actually based on the television show. This is the first time you're going to see the television show themed Walking Dead games jump up on this list, where you're having a more thematic experience. And that's the Walking Dead Best Defense. In this game, you're getting a little bit more of a card game, and they're bringing in what's called the leadership tactic. And you're going to see that in some other Walking Deads, where Walking Dead's a lot about the leadership taking over and the decisions that you're making. There's a whole arc with Shane about which style of leadership that the group should follow. And you're going to get that in this game, where you're going to have a leader, who's going to be making some decisions, and you're just trying to clear out certain sections of these 4 locations. There is a Woodbury expansion for this. I actually do recommend, if you like Best Defense, that the Woodbury expansion, which brings the governor in from the show and adds another location and some other wrinkles to take care of. This is a cooperative game, so the players are working together in order to facilitate their end goal. There is a way with the advanced rules to have a partial victory, so you're going to start seeing some little bit of different things seep in. Once again, when this game was released, it was probably the best Walking Dead game on the market, but as you can tell by our counting, there are better games to get. Number 5 is Walking Dead Bang. So this just takes Bang and throws Walking Dead on top of it. Now, a lot of people have the DICE version, which I have put lower on the list ahead of Bang. I tend to like the original a little bit better. It's just very simply going to take the Bang game and you're going to throw the universe on it here. There is an expansion for this. I like this one because there isn't player elimination. When you die, you come back as another faction, which are the zombies. And I feel like that really, really, really helps this game out. Player elimination is one of the things I hate the most in board games, and this kind of flips it on its head, takes that out. You come back as a walker, and then that faction does battle and can actually win the game. So Walking Dead to Bang is one of my favorite party games. You can buy this with the Old West theme, but I prefer the Walking Dead version. Once again, this is going to be based on the comic series and not on the television show. Number 4 on the list is Something to Fear. This is a game I've only played one time, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. They play fast and loose with the theme a little bit. It's not the most thematic of the games, but man, it's a very strong card game that I enjoyed quite a bit. And I would probably put it above Bang when it comes to party games. Very easy, very quick. Some of the things you're doing in it, may not go along with the theme and may not make sense, but the artwork is fantastic. I really like the game itself, really shines through, and one I can easily recommend being higher up on this list. Now, the top 3 games on this list are very strong additions just to board gaming, let alone the Walking Dead universe of games, if you will. These games are going to be a lot more thematic and really bring in a lot of what the Walking Dead show and comics brings to you. Now, this game in particular is going to be based off the comic series, and it's called Here's Negan. And this one, you're not playing, this is unique to all of them, you're not playing your Rick-led group. In this one, you're playing the Saviors, and you're playing as the Saviors themselves, and you're trying to impress Negan. Negan will be moving across the board, and you're going to have miniatures on the board and trying to do certain missions, and then he will be coming through, and you have to please Negan. So if you do things that he doesn't like, he will definitely let you know. So this is a very unique game, one I liked, one I think slipped under the radar. It was during that time period where Walking Dead kind of went down, and I feel like it may have hurt the game more having this theme or IP on it. But man, this is a really fun game and one I truly, truly recommend. And I wish they were going to come out with expansions for it, but I'm starting to think that they won't. But a very strong addition here. Here's Negan is a game that if you like The Walking Dead at all, I would highly, highly recommend for you to check out. So the top 2 games on this list, it's just going to depend on your personal preference. Both are very strong, but this is my list, so I had to be honest to myself. Number 2 is All Out War. Now, this game is going to be a miniatures game. So it's a little bit less of a board game, a little bit more of a miniatures game that you're going to have. This means you're going to be rulers that are included, you're moving people around. But man, this is good. This is good stuff. This is a good zombie game. This is a good game. All Out War has plenty of stuff. So you can get a core box, there's a Kickstarter box is where to start it out at, and you can add in Morgan and a son with the mother. Yeah, the mother, the zombie. Remember from episode 1? Now, this is all based off the comics, but, you can buy, Rick on his horse. Yeah, Rick on his horse is in this game. So there's a lot you can do. You can spend a lot of money. You can paint this up. There's scenery, towers. You can buy the prison. So this is a true miniatures game that you're playing. Now, it's really fun. I really like it. I don't play a lot of miniatures game, but this is one I do play. And this isn't jumping off the deep end. You don't have to understand a whole bunch of things. If you can play, Zombicide or something like that, you can probably play this a little bit of a step up. But this is a really, really, really fun experience. And there's a lot that you can collect and buy and add in. A lot of the secondary and third characters are in this. So, I mean, you can add in as much of the Walking Dead universe as you like. And this is one I highly recommend. This could easily have been number one. And for many people, this will be number one. If you tend to go towards miniature games versus board games, then this would be your number one. Now, number one for me is No Sanctuary. I really like this game. And there were some production issues that people didn't like with the Kickstarters. But this is the Saddler Brothers, and they knock it out of the park here. This leadership mechanic about how you have the leadership, and you're playing these cards down, you have your unique decks, all kinds of characters, expansions that goes through. I wish they would make more and more stuff for this. This is one of my favorite dudes on a map game. I love Walking Dead No Sanctuary. Even if I didn't like The Walking Dead, I would still enjoy this game. It's that good. Brook City gets a lot of the fame here from them because of the way this one was handled, which I wasn't really in the middle of and don't know a whole lot about, but it's just that people were unhappy with the molds and the miniatures. I think it all looks fine for me. I enjoy the game. The game is really, really solid. And there's all kinds. You get Daryl on his motorcycle here, and there's a whole scenario for that. Everything is scenario-based. This is really, really a fun game, and one I highly recommend you checking out. Well, that was a trip down memory lane. I've played a lot of Walking Dead games. My wife and I love the show. We still watch it. I've read through all of the comics until its sad ending, and I've really enjoyed the experience of playing Walking Dead games. Now, do we have the definitive Walking Dead game? I think so. I think Here's Negan, All Out War, and No Sanctuary is a strong 3 games. And I hesitate to think of what other IP or television show has a stronger set of games than The Walking Dead. There's a lot of trash. Yep. A lot of terrible games. Don't Turn Back the Dice game. It's terrible. The Walking Dead board game. Terrible. And there's a lot of terrible games out there. There's trivia games, I'm sure, and all that garbage. But there are some really strong games. They've come on strong. You want a party game? Something to Fear. You want dudes on a map? No Sanctuary. You want a miniatures game? I got All Out War for you. So this has been a fun trip. Thanks for sharing this time with me. Please subscribe and like. It really helps out. And thanks for watching.